to have the first presentation?
Yes, ready or not, you must be ready.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I think the Zoom is yours.
What about the video?
Oh yeah,
Then I have
video
to
Pak
play the
Dera.
video?
Ya, Pak Dera. Pak Dera. Halo Pak Dera.
I'm glad today to be here with you, and my name is Eka Wahyunise, and as what you can see from the title of the presentation, it is Fantasy Run as a web-based game engaging students' vocabulary. So in this presentation, I'm going to tell you about one of the website that consists of a game that can be used to teach vocabulary. And when we know that nowadays English is one of the foreign languages learned by the students, including the primary school students, and it is taught to the primary school students, although sometimes it is not taught in any particular primary school students, but still it is some primary school students can get English as one of the subjects in that school. And then young learners are considered to learn any additional languages more easily than the older ones because they are still in the phase of golden age, in which it is considered to be the period in which the golden period for the students to get so much exposure in all fields of their life, including in learning a foreign language. Then, based on the research done by Sarah Phillips, it is said that young learners are children from the first year of formal schooling to 11 or 12 years of old. Then they can be divided into two groups: younger group and older groups of young learners. Then it is not an easy thing to teach young learners because we know that they have short span, and they get bored easily and they get distracted to do something else, so that when you are going to teach young learners, we have to pay attention on the length of the materials because of those situations, because of those conditions. Then Klimola and Cassett said that for young learners, ICT has become something that is natural, something needed by the students, and the students or the young learners cannot be separated from the ICT, including the computer games. It is considered to be something that is effective in the vocabulary acquisition in foreign language learning. And actually, game can become an exposure for the students, for the young learners to learn a foreign language. Then, knowing the condition that ICT is one of the thing that cannot be separated from young learners' daily life, then teachers should have been able to take the advantage of this situation. But still, there are only few teachers who know how to find or where to find and utilize any platform to teach young learners. Then, in this case, I'm going to share with you Fantasy Run. That is one of the platforms that can be used to teach vocabulary to young learners. And here we go, Bapak Ibu. You can click the links to go to that game. And this is how it looks like. So when you click the link, then you are going to go here. Then you can go here to the feature of fun and game, so that you are going to be on that page, and here we can find Fantasy Run. So you click that one, you click the arrow button, and we are going to go here. This is the front page of the game Fantasy Run. Then again, you have to click the arrow here. Then we are going to go to this page. Now let's go play the game. At the beginning of the game, the students or the young learners are introduced to the characters of this game. They are Zuri and Sek, and they are also given the rules of how to play the game. And the main point, the main rule that they have to pay attention is that they are going to they are going to find 3 levels, and they have to go through those 3 levels if they want to finish the game. Then there are 2 main buttons that they have to or is that to utilize in playing this game. That is the Z button to jump and the X button to slide. Then here we are in the first round, and this is the example of the things that the young learners have to catch. And those are the things that the young learners have to avoid, because if they hit those things, then they are going to lose their lives. So they are going in the first round. They are going to get some things, the hats, the candles, and some other things. And after getting one thing, then again they have to run. Sometimes they are not going to be able to be successful in playing the game. So sometimes the mission failed, but yeah, it is still okay. It is still possible for the young learners to complete the mission. And if they can complete the mission in the first round, then it means that they are going to learn at least 8 vocabularies. Those are broomsticks, scopes, hats, candles, cauldrons, mirror, and spell book. And they are also look at the pictures here, so they can imagine, a broomstick, that one is called as broomstick, this one is called as mirror, this one is spell book, and the others. Then those are the words that the students can obtain from the first round. Then again, they are going to run, and here is the one that they have to avoid, because if they hit that one, then they are going to lose their lives. Then they are going to go to the second round to get some other things they can find in the second round. So those are the vocabularies that they can find in the second round. Then go again. They have to run again, to run and run to the third round. And those are the vocabularies that they can find in the third round. So in every round, they are going to find 8 vocabularies along with the picture, along with the thing, so that it will be easier for the young learners to imagine. Oh, this one is called as caterpillars, and it is pronounced as ladybirds, it is pronounced as dragonfly. So the moment they catch the thing, the moment they are at that moment, they are going to listen to the pronunciation of those words. Now, what can the teachers do? So actually, you yourself as the teacher, you have to play the game. So before giving the game to the students, you have to try to play the games. Then you after being able to play the game, then you come to your classroom, then tell the students that today or that day they will play the game, and you tell them to open the website, introduce the game to the students, introduce the rules, introduce the characters of the game. Then after that, you can ask the students to listen to the words spoken when they try to catch the objects in each round. Then after having the students play the game, you can drill asking the students about the vocabulary that they get in the game. So you can drill having the students pronounce or spell the words that they can find in that game. There are 24 vocabularies that they can get from this game. And as the conclusion here, Bapak Ibu, once again, we have to remember that young learners like playing games. So one of the materials that we can bring into the classroom is game. Then teachers can utilize this website to attract the young learners to learn some English vocabularies, because there are some other games that the teachers can explore from this website. And another advantage that we can get from playing the game in this website is that the vocabularies are accompanied by the pictures. Then it is considered that they can help the learners to remember the words easily. So I think that's all, Bapak Ibu, for my presentation. Thank you very much for joining my session, and see you in the next session or in the next webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bu Eka, for the wonderful presentation. And now we are in the questions and answer, and then there are some questions delivered by the audience here. So, do you want to give directly a question directly to Ibu Eka? Ibu Laili Amin Tajariah, perhaps, to give the directly answer for Bu Eka, please.
Bu Laili is having trouble with his mic. I think we should go with the first question.
Oh, the first question, yeah, Bu Fuji, ya. Bu Fuji, perhaps. Hello, Bu Fuji.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Can you hear me, ma'am? Okay. Nice to be a part of this conference. Yeah. So my question is, as it is stated, that how effective is it to the productive skill? As we know that productive skills that in English learning is speaking and writing, right? Because in fact, so far when in online teaching and learning, or maybe the real learning, we are limited to the device in playing game, yeah, and then internet access that available. Okay, and sometimes it will be time consuming. Okay, so direct to my question, how effective is it? Because it's only limited to vocab, yeah. And as my experience in teaching and learning process nowadays, I focus on these two productive skills, more in emphasizing or urging the students, motivating the student to produce, not to play game, especially in my level, yeah, junior high school, especially at the 9th grade. Okay, ma'am, thank you. Because my problem is related to device, internet access, and also the time limitation. Okay, thanks for the opportunity.
Bu Novi, is it time for me to answer questions?
Yes, okay, yeah, you can answer directly, Monggo.
Okay, Bu Fuji, I think when we are talking about online game or something that we have to play by using the technological device, then we cannot we cannot skip, or we cannot escape from the internet access. Of course, if you want to play this digital game or this online game, then you need internet access. But if you say that it is difficult for your students to play to get the internet access, then perhaps when they go to their town, then they are going to be able to access the game. Then they try to play the game. But then, yes, of course, when they have to play the game, it depends on how fast they are going to press the button. That is the C and the X button. Because if not, then they are not going to be able to go to the end of the game. That is about the internet access. Of course, we need the internet access. And now, how effective is it for productive skill? When we are talking about productive skill, which covers speaking and writing, then of course we need the objects to discuss. Is that? Then in this case, the game can become the object. So you can ask the students to play the game. Then you can ask the students to express what they feel when they are playing the game. Or you can also ask the students to, let's say, what are you going to have if you get those things? What are you going to do if you can catch all of those things in the second round, or what are you going to buy, or what do you want to be if you have all those 24 items. So still they are going to say something, they are going to express their opinion. Or if you try to have the writing skill, then of course you can ask them to write down what is that the difficulties of playing the game, perhaps, or creating some sentences by using those vocabularies, because I do believe that vocabulary plays an important role in in all the English skills that the students have to master. Ibu, do I answer your questions? You are still mute, ma'am.
Please mute. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we are in the center of the city, ma'am. But sometimes my problem is whether your game, but it seems very interesting game. Maybe for icebreaker will be okay, ma'am. Yeah, during our teaching and learning process. But I just want to ask whether it is as heavy as Kahoot, because Kahoot, after I try, it's quite heavy. Yeah, for some certain devices.
Uh, No, ma'am.
Is it that heavy, ma'am?
No, because it is website, ma'am. So it is not too heavy. So you can play the games by opening a website.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it is not heavy at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Bu Novi?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Fuji. And then for the next question, we are going to invite Bu Rina Widya Bali. Are you here with me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So please you can deliver your question directly to Bu Eka.
Okay, hello Ibu Eka. Okay,
Hello, ma'am.
it's nice to meet you today. Actually, I'm a preschool teacher. So before you said that it's quite suitable for primary until a high level, but actually in Bali, most of some school teach English since they were very young learners. For example, like start from playgroup until preschool. And in my school, we use English in our daily communication. So I think it's quite interesting to have fantasy round as one of games for our students. But in here, I see that the player needs to have a reading ability because they have to read some words, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
Yes, reading.
Right? Yeah.
Reading the vocabularies.
Yeah.
Not reading in context. Yep.
Yeah. I mean reading because the context is we enrich their vocabulary.
Yes.
So for preschoolers, where in this case they have the pre-reading, so they still try to recognize the sounds or the letters, or maybe just read some very simple words. Can you give me a suggestion to conduct this game for the preschoolers?
Preschool means playgroup, yeah.
Start from playgroup until kindergarten.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I think it will be not easier, but I think it will be more interesting for them because they like playing games. Yep. And
yes, that's right.
They cannot be separated from the technological device. Every time they get up, then they are going to look at their mobile phone. Then when you ask them to learn, then they are going to click something else, and it seems or perhaps you can check, then they are going to go to find what is that, a website in which they can find any game. So I think this is one of the games that you can you can explore, and in that website there are still some other games that you can explore. So that is only one of the games that I want to share with you all here. And I think the steps are still the same, that you have to introduce them to the characters, you have to introduce them to how to play the game. Then after that, yes, if they think that, ma'am, what does it mean? Then the students are going to have the picture. So when they do not know the meaning, then they can guess the meaning by looking at the picture, such as in Jawa, it is not too familiar about something that is mythical. Yep. So For them, broomstick is something that is not familiar. But if they like watching Harry Potter, then I do believe that they are going to be familiar with broomstick. But then they are going to say, "Loh, Bu, itu kan that is a broom to which my mom usually has for sweeping the floor." Yeah, but in this case, it is not that broom, but it is the broom that is used by the witch. So perhaps you can say so to the students. And yeah, I know that teaching kindergarten, teaching preschool students is not something that it is easy, but I think it is going to be more challenging and interesting, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Ibu. Because I also use some games like quizzes as a word wall and some games, but as a teacher, sometimes I feel bored to make the same games
Yeah.
for longer time. So sometimes I need to vary my teaching method to make it interesting. So because it's a very fun games for the fantastic run, so I just want to know whether it's suitable for the kindergarten or not. So if it's suitable for the kindergarten, I think I will explore it more. Thank
And
you.
each
Yeah.
round, each round of the game has different theme. So in the first round, it is about the things that the witch usually has. In the second one, they are going to deal with the germs, the stones, different types of stones, and in the third level, they are going to deal with animals. So perhaps you can ask the students to if the topic is if your topic is about animals, then you have to what is it? You have to lead them to be able to go to the third round.
Oh, so it means
Different
that
round, different
oh,
different round is going to have different topic.
so it means that once we play this game, it means that we cannot play it in once. I mean, not in one round. It should be finished until the third round.
If you cannot finish the first round, then you are not going to be able to go to the second round.
Oh, so it means I mean that we cannot conduct this game only for one round, or how, Ibu? Or should it be or for all three rounds?
It depends on your teaching objective. If perhaps in your syllabus, in your curriculum, perhaps there is a theme about what is that fairy tale. Then when we are talking about fairy tale, then one of the most interesting topic is about witch, because usually they are scary. They are going to turn the students into some stones, some fruit, some other things. Then perhaps you can introduce them to the first round. Because the first round, the vocabularies in the first round are dealing with the things that a witch has.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's interesting because we have Halloween celebration as well. So I think it's suitable for the Halloween celebration for the for the first round. All right. Thank you so much, Ibu Eka.
Mas Melka. Ibu?
Yeah. Okay, Bu Eka, we still have the last question. It comes from Bu Laili from SMP and 5 Langgang because she has problem with her throat. So I will read the question. So the question is that how did you come across this game? And what should we keep in mind when selecting learning game for our young learners? That's all.
Okay, the first question is how to come across with the game. Ma'am, I like Bu Laili. I know her very much. Then, ma'am, I like exploring that website. And then when I come to fun and game, then this is a very interesting game. Okay, so perhaps for those who are teaching the primary students or the kindergarten students, then they can have that one. Yes, when you ask me gimana sih Bu caranya to get some websites, what should you do to get so many different websites, then I cannot say anything unless explore and explore and explore. So don't get tired of exploring the websites. Then what do we have to keep in mind when we what is it, ma'am? What do we have to keep in mind when we decide to choose a game? The first, yes, of course, as usual, the first thing that you have to do is to set the objective of your subject. So That is the most important thing, I think, Bapak Ibu. When you are going to teach your student, then the first thing that you have to have here, when the first thing that you have to keep in your mind is the objective. So you have to set the objective. Then after that, you can try to find the media. Then that is one of the media that you can have to teach the students. So what should I keep in mind is that you have to, first of all, you have to think of your objective of your teaching and learning process. Then after that, you can try to find the media. And when we are talking about the media, then one of the features, one of the media that you can use is game. So that is why it is not about looking for the game. Then what subjects can I teach with this game? It can also, you can also do it, but then usually you have to set the game. You have to set the teaching and learning process. Then after that, you can find the media, and game is one of the media that you can use to teach your students. I think that is my answer, Bu Novi.
So much for Eka for the great presentation. So let's give big applause for Bu Eka.
Thank you, Bapak Ibu.
Okay, and then now we come for the second presenter. Yeah, for the second presenter will be Ibu Erma Rusfi Kasari. Are you here with us, Bu Erma?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, okay. First of all, I would like to tell you a little bit about Ibu Ibu Erma. Ibu Erma was born on the 31st of March 1991. She teaches at SMP Muhammadiyah Al Mujahid. She lives at Gangsalan Kidul, Lintur, Grisubo. It is the first time she joined JETA conference, and she is very thankful for the opportunity. Well, Bu Irma, ya. Okay, are you ready? Yeah. Okay, Pak Dera. Yeah, Pak Dera, please turn on the video. Okay. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is my great pleasure to join 18 JETA-UKDW conference. Thanks for the opportunity to present my paper. Let me introduce myself. I am Erma Rusfikasari from Gunung Kidul, Yogyakarta. I am an English teacher in junior high school. Here, I will present my paper. The title is Improving Students' Writing Skill by Using iCare. Teaching and learning are complicated. Many things influence success of teaching and learning. It is also happened in MTS Negeri Rongkop. Many problems appear when researchers conduct research in the school. The problems are: first, teacher taught English using teacher-centered method, and students did not know why they learned the material. Second, based on interview to the English teacher, the most difficult skill to be taught was writing. Third, English teacher did not use the environment to explore students' writing skill. 5. Based on English midterm score, in October 2012, students got low score. The highest score was 78 and the lowest score was 25. From the problems, researchers chose the first problem to be solved. That is, teacher taught English using teacher-centered method, and students did not know why they learned the material. From the problem, researcher formulates the problems into two parts. They are: first, is there any difference of student interests of second grade students in MTS Negeri Rongkop in their writing skill using iCare? Second, how is the student improvement in learning writing skill by using iCare of the second grade of MTS Negeri Rongkop? Then, the objectives of the study are: first, to analyze the difference of student interests of second grade students in MTS Negeri Rongkop in their writing skill by using iCare. Second, to describe the student improvement in learning writing skill by using iCare of the second grade of MTS Negeri Rongkop. So, what is iCare? iCare is introduced by the Centralized Basic Education (DBA) that is developed by United States Agency International Development (USAID) in 2006. The iCare is acronym for Introduction, Connection, Application, Reflection, and Extension. iCare is a teaching model that has some components. The components stand from planning until evaluation of teaching and learning process. iCare is a model of presentation that applies in learning process. The purpose of iCare is to bring students to apply learning material into real life. The focus of training is to integrate life skills through the development of lesson plans and use an active learning, experiential learning process called iCare. The components of iCare can explore learning objectives and give students opportunities to move away from the narrative into collaborative activities, discussion, reflective exercise, and online self-assessment. The component of iCare must be done step by step. Teacher cannot replace the sequence of iCare model. The sequence must be introduction, connection, application, reflection, and extension. The researcher had done research and tried to apply the iCare model. In the first step is introduction. Teacher introduce the student what is to be learned in the unit. Teacher tell students about what material will be learned. Teachers tell the purpose of the material. Teachers tell the outcome of the material. The second step, C. Connection. Teachers connect the material with the previous material or something known by students in the real life, such as hot news, self-problem, and so on. The third step, A. Application. Teachers try to give opportunity to students to apply what they get in the connection step. They can write or tell what their idea. The fourth step, R. Reflection. Teacher try to conclude the learned topic. The last step, I. Extension. Teachers provide an activity that can be done after the learning process is finished to keep the material that has been learned in the student mind. The purpose of extension is to make students looking for other knowledge or information about the material. The type of research is classroom action research. Here, researchers use some instruments to get data. They are interview, observation, file note, questionnaire, and test. The research design of this research used representation of action research protocol by chemist and MC Tucker. The test was conducted in two cycles. Cycles 1, pre-test, treatment, and post-test, and the cycle 2, treatment and post-test. Here is research data based on questionnaire about difference of student interest in learning writing skill. From the data, was seen that there is enhancement between before treatment and after treatment. Here's data about difference of student interest in learning writing skill based on observation. Then, the student improvement in learning writing skill by using iCare will be seen in the table.
Bu Novi, are you there?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. That's all about the presentation from Ibu Irma. Bapak Ibu, do you have question for Bu Irma related to her presentation? So you can give the question directly for Bu Irma.
Bu Novi, while waiting for questions
Okay.
for the participants, I think I'm curious myself. I'd like to ask a question to Bu Irma. Bu Irma, are you there? Can you hear my voice?
Yes. Yes, I'm here. I can hear your voice, Pak Jera.
All right. Yeah, I can listen to you too. Thank you. In your presentation, I see that you describe what teachers do in each step. Can you please explain or tell us about what do students do in each step, and if possible related to writing, because you present something about writing skill. So I hope I can see what students do in each step in iCare. Thank you. I hope can you understand my question? Am I clear enough? Check, Bu Irma.
Okay, yes. I understand, Mister.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, please answer
Hello.
my question, Bu Irma. Yeah, we
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you. We
my
can hear
voice?
you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Actually, I care is a step to teach English. Is introduction, connection, application, reflection, and extension. Actually, the research was conducted in 2012, but it is also suitable for condition this year, pandemic. Nah, in this pandemic, student have their own class, their own situation. So, teacher can connect the material, the learning material, and student real life. So, it is very important to teacher to know what the student life, where the student life, and what they have in in their house. So it is can be a topic to be right by the student. For example, student who live in the village, so they can write about the situation in the village, and a student who live in a city can write about situation in her house in the city, etc. Okay, I think it's enough.
Thank you, Bu Irma. I think I get the point. Bu Novi.
Okay. Bu Irma, we still have one question. It comes from
Yes.
Laili. The question is that what is the difference of I care steps in cycle 1 and 2? Is there any
Okay.
modification? Yeah.
Okay. The step in iCare is same, but it is will be any modification in cycle 1 and cycle 2. If a teacher still cannot get good result in cycle 1, teacher can modify the material in the application step. So teacher can modify application step by connecting the material with skill such as with other skills. For example, they can take any example from the internet, etc. Okay, enough, Miss Noviana?
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Okay, for Bu Dwistiawan, I'm so sorry for the question is enough for Bu Irma, ya. And then now let's welcome to for the third presenters. So the first presenter will be Ibu Alina Fitriani Nurjana. Bu Fitriani, Bu Alina,
Okay.
are you here? Yeah, I will read a little bit about Bu Alina first. She is an English teacher in SMPN 1 Biungan, Bantul. She has been teaching since 2006 until present time. Recently, she has grown her interest in literacy. She has been the chief in the duty for the school library for 3 years now. In this pandemic, she designed a project to teach her students via online learning effectively. She is excited about learning many new methods and applications to improve her way of teaching online. Nah, okay. Bu Alina?
Yes, hello Ibu.
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Adela,
here.
please, please turn on the...
Hello everyone, I am Alina Fiftiani from SMPN 1 Piungan Bantul. In this great opportunity, I would like to present a case study under the title Achievement Assessment in Online Learning. This case study I used in 7G grade of SMPN 1 Piungan Bantul. My case study or my mini research based on 3 backgrounds. The first one is pandemic situation. Of course, we are all in the pandemic situation. This pandemic situation affect us, affect every aspect in our life, especially in the education. This pandemic turned the education into online learning or online schooling. In the online learning, many teachers, many students, and all stakeholders feel very new in this online learning. Okay. Not all offline learning methods are effective in online learning. As a sample, assessment. You know, me as a teacher, when I teach in my class in offline learning, I use multiple choices to do formative assessment to assess my students' ability. But when I use this in my online class, you know, my students can open the Google Translate, can Googling, can open their books to answer the multiple questions. So this multiple question or formative assessment like this is not effective. Okay, it's not effective for the student. Even it is vulnerable to students' dishonesty. Well, achievement assessment, I will give you some theory about it. Achievement assessment measures both the achievement of learners during a course and the effectiveness of the course. This theory said by Nation ISP in Language Curriculum Design. Based on Nation ISP, there are 3 characteristics of achievement assessment. Number 1, it is based on material taught in course. Number 2, learners usually know what kind of question will be asked. And number 3, there should be criterion reference. These 3 characteristics we can use in achievement assessment. Achievement assessment based on nation is not all done by tests. As an example, performing a product or text to assess the student mastery to a topic, we can use the performance. Okay, the performance is usually used to assess speaking skill. Okay, this is the picture of my student. I assess him to do a performance to describe the pencil case, and this is an achievement assessment for their ability to describe something. All right, after I told you about the theory of achievement assessment, and like I said in the background, because we are in the online learning and I cannot use the performance assessment or using multiple choices questions to assess my students because it is vulnerable for their dishonesty. So I use performance to assess my student. Assessing students using performance, and the performance here is used for achievement assessment. The practice in my class, in my school, of my students, I use this kind of achievement assessment to competency dasar 3.7 and 4.7 for 7th grade of SMP. And I take the material, it is simple descriptive text, it is to describe a pencil case. Well, this is the practice of achievement assessment in 7th grade online class. Like ISP Nation said, there are 3 characteristics in the practice of achievement assessment. Number 1 is based on material taught. Number 2, students should know what kinds of questions. And number 3, there are criterions reference. And the achievement assessment are based on material taught in the course. Of course, I don't ask the student to perform their ability to describe a thing without I give them the material. So I give them the material through videos. I took the videos from YouTube and then I ask them to read and to study from the book. They study textbook KSN GMP Bahasa Inggris Bantu. And of course, before taking the assessment, students are given an overview of the material that will be used in the assessment. I gave them quiz. I used the quizzes application. And other than that, I use Google Form quiz. You can check in the link. Number 3, there will be a standard or criterion set which will indicate whether learners have achieved enough to be given a pass for the course. It is mean that I give my student a video example. So I record myself describing a pencil case. And this video of recording of mine, I upload in my channel. You can visit my channel at @alina50an. Well, after I gave those 3 characteristics to do an achievement assessment, so this is the student result. You can see the results is quite successful. There are 23% students got 92, 47% students got 88, and only 6% or 2 students got 76. Nah, and the student results you can see in the link. Okay, so that's what I try to present here. That my conclusion is, to assess the student in online class, we can use the performance. We can use the recording of our students' performance. Because if we use the performative, like multiple choices questions, it is very vulnerable for their dishonesty. Okay, You can watch the learning video and students video results in the attachment after this video. And if you want further dialogue with me, you can email me or you can visit my YouTube channel and Twitter or Instagram. Thank you for your attention. I hope it is useful for you. See you next time.
Well,
Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Ella, and now I want to describe my pencil case. What are there in my pencil case? There are many things in my pencil case. There is one pencil. There are two pens. There is one ruler. There is one blue marker. There is one sharpener. There is one eraser. How many things there in my pencil case? There are 7 things in my pencil case. I like my pencil case. Thank you. See you next time.
Hello everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Alva. Now, let me describe my pencil case. My pencil case color is black and white. It is beautiful. What are there in my pencil case? There is one eraser. There is one correction pen. And there is one pen. How many things are there in my pencil case? In my pencil case, there are 3 things in my pencil case. I love my pencil case.
well, that's wonderful presentation, Ibu Alina. And then Bapak Ibu, if you have question, so you can give directly to Ibu Alina. Oh, here we have one question from Ibu Laili. I will read. The question is that what if the students do not like being videotaped? And then what kind of performance can he or she do?
Okay. Thank you for the question, Pulaili. Hello. What happened to your throat? Are you sick?
Tidak know, but I just got sore throat.
Okay. I hope you get well soon, ya, Mbak Laili.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right, Bapak Ibu. Actually, this presentation is I just want to share my experience in doing my achievement assessment in my 7th grader, and I was inspired by my lecturer who has actually in UST. She said that in online learning we cannot assess our student using only use a kind of multiple choices questions, because in my school especially, when we use a kind of Google form, multiple choices Google form, or maybe some test using multiple choices questions, the students can open Google Translate at home and they can Googling. My students, when they are offline, I mean, when they meet me in my class, some students are not quite good in English, but when this online, they got very high score. It's very interesting, right? Okay. Even some student of mine, my students, got 100, got 97, 96 in mid semester from Kabupaten Bantul. That's well, I think I don't know. Maybe they turn into a very smart student when online learning, right? so in this condition, I think we have to use a kind of authentic assessment to assess our students, and this is one of a process that I use to assess my student in seventh grade. And in my class, I usually use voice note to open my class. You know, because my school is in Piungan. Piungan is, you know, around the the area is bad connection in internet. Yeah, some of my students are from Delingo and Gunung Kidul and so on and so on. And I cannot use Google Classroom because many of my students don't have any laptop or computers at home. They only have handphone, and the data is only chat data. Do you know chat data? They only can use a WA, you know. So they cannot open, even they cannot open website. You know, the game that said by the first presenter is very interesting, right? It's very interesting. But maybe in my class, only 20 students can use it because, yeah, there are so many economic problems with them, and they only can maybe open WA and maybe just Google, just YouTube. That's only that, and they cannot download many application in their handphone. So there will be so many difficulties to use it. Okay, so I use the voice note and video recording to assess my students, especially in authentic assessment. So for some students, if they maybe shame or maybe they don't have any, they don't like to record themselves, they can use voice note, Miss Lely. They can use voice note, and I usually open my class with voice note. So I greet my students with voice note, and they answer my greeting, recording their voice into the WA group, so I can listen their voice speaking English. That's very important. Okay, so they can train themselves speaking English. And other time I ask them to record, to make a video, to make a simple, very simple video to describe something and something. Okay. And this is my experience to do in 7G in a class. I got 3 classes, and I I I take this kind of assessment for them, and it's quite successful. Only maybe 2 students got paired. Okay, I can show you the result if you want to, but it's not easy. Actually, it's not easy. You have to courage. You have to give your students a spirit. You have to give them a video example. You have to give them quiz. You have to give them any material. And yeah, but actually it's success. So that's all. Thank you. Is it answering your question, Miss Lily?
Thank you. With VN ya, Miss ya? No, VN.
Yes, fish voice note. Yeah, the end. Yeah. Thank you, Bu Novi,
Yeah,
Noviana.
yeah. Here we still have one question actually from Susana, but yeah, please it's short. Yeah. Yeah. How can Bu Susana, can you give the question directly for Bu Alina? Hello, Bu Susana.
Yes, okay. Good job. Students can perform well. Good. Um, I just want to ask about how can you manage the process, or they can share the video, how can you do the, for example, formative assessment of speaking process? For example, in pronunciation, maybe they still make some mistakes, yeah, on the process, and then how to train them to perform well, to make their speaking fluently. Yeah. How how can you manage it in an effective time? I know that, of course, we have to see one by one, yeah, the students, how they they make process until they can perform well. Okay, thank you. Good job, Bu Alina.
Thank you, Bu Susana. Wow. Okay. Well, the process is not simple actually. Well, whether the result is very simple, the description of the recording from my student is very simple, but the process is not simple actually. From the beginning of my class in the 7th grade, I always use the voice note. So I always um, I always use the voice notes to do a presentation, to do the attendance. They don't fill the attendance using Google Form. They record their voice, okay? And I check one by one, okay? In this morning, I teach my 7th grade, and it is the second meeting, and they have already learned about greeting. So they have to greet me in the beginning of the class. Okay, so um, I greet I greet them in the beginning. I greet them first, maybe something like that. Good morning. How are you today? So I give them example how to answer. Okay, anak-anak bisa menjawab seperti ini ya. Good morning, Ma'am Alina. I am fine, thank you. But I give them other example. Maybe they can use their creativity to answer. Tapi boleh menjawab dengan kreativitas sendiri, something like that. I use the voice note, so they listen my voice and they record their voice to answer. Some students answer like my example, but some students use their creativity. That's great. They only 7th grader, and it is the second meeting. Wonderful. And every class, every online class, I always use, even though in the 9th grader, I use in the 9th grader too, but it's not very simple 9th grader. So to open my class, I ask them to describe around them, or maybe to tell about their activity at night, maybe something like that. But always I use a voice note to check their speaking. Yes, always in every meeting. And those voice note, I use it as sebagai bukti presensi, something like that. Yeah. So I check one by one and ayo Mas Restu belum, something like that lah. Okay, using. Nah, this process make my students train or practice their speaking every day, every meeting. So when I ask them to make a short a description about something, describing something, speaking, so they are not shocked, okay? Because they have done it every day. They have done it every meeting. Okay. Of course, it's not simple. It's a long process, but it is successful. Okay. And whether only singing greeting songs. If you teach a 7th grader, there is a very popular song of greeting. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Something like that. I ask them to sing and to record video, but some students don't want to record the video. They can use voice notes. Okay, so that's the process. And And about the knowledge, I gave the material using video YouTube and quizzes to practice the vocabulary. And of course, I give them an example. So I record myself describing a pencil case in a video and I upload in my YouTube channel and then can watch it. And I record myself very simple. I train myself to be the seventh grader and record myself to be the example. Okay. Through that and because of that, the result is good and the student is quite successful to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's all, Bu Susana. Is it answering your question?
Thank you.
Thank you, Bu. If you
Yeah.
want to see the result of my students, maybe I can share the best and the worst.
I'm so sorry, Bu Alina.
Okay.
Time is almost over. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. No
And
problem.
yeah. And here we actually still have some questions. So
Okay.
Bu Alina can answer it directly in the chat box, or perhaps the audience who has the question can send email to Bu Alina. Yeah. Okay. So that's all I think for the presentation, and then we very appreciate for the wonderful presenters today. Yeah. So we believe that we will get knowledge based on the experience and then based on the presentation, and when we do believe that we will apply or practice it in our school. I think that's all for the presentation, and then I will give back to Pak Dera. He will give some announcement. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Bu Novi. Can everyone hear my voice?
Yes.
Can you listen
Kelly?
to me? Okay, thank you. Thank you,
Yes, yes.
Bu Novi and everyone, Bu Eka, Bu Irma, and Bu Alina. Sometimes we don't realize we take so much time to explain our experience because sharing is interesting and sharing made. Wait, I'm talking. Yeah. Sorry, I've got my kid
Say hi
next to
to
me.
your kids.
I'm working from home, so please allow me some tolerance with my kid next to me. Anyway, thanks to the presenters, and I hope all the three presenters who have presented their work here can, of course, join the conference till the end tomorrow. And everyone, please don't forget to fill out the form for your attendance list. So we have to make sure you are both present on the first and the second day so that you get your digital certificate. And then don't forget to post your feed or story in Instagram for today and tomorrow. It doesn't have to be the screenshot of your screen. You can take selfies of yourselves in front of your computers, the laptop, or your groups of teachers who probably watch the conference in the same room. So you can be creative and make the most interesting post ever. And don't forget to tag at PPI-UKDW, PPI-UKDW. So don't forget the tag, because if you don't tag us, we can't track your posts. And we will be back here tomorrow at 10 sharp. So probably the room will be open a few minutes before, but you have to wait for a while until everyone is in the room, and then we can start with the second day, because tomorrow will be as interesting, if not more interesting. We have OFJ, Opera van JETA. I don't know what will come tomorrow, so I'm still anxious and curious. So no one knows what will. No one knows what will be shown for tomorrow except for the director himself, everyone. So everyone is still expecting what will it be. And then we also have quiz. Don't forget, you will have merchandise sent to your home if you. Yay, a block. My kid says there's a block. Thank you, Rekna. Sorry, the blame is on me. I'm the timekeeper. I have to stop this earlier, although we have
Take a
more
picture,
questions.
Fadera.
Oh, yeah. Everyone, please turn on your camera. Bu Fel, Bu Endang will capture our moments. Everyone, please turn on your camera.
With your son, Pak.
It's actually my daughter, Bu Eka.
With your daughter.
Wonderful father.
Okay, who will
Say
take
hi.
the picture? I will. I will, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, Bu
there
Fel.
are 4 slides, yeah, Bapak Ibu. So the first, I don't know who. Hey, Pak Daniel, you all there? I just see you. Okay, I'll count 1 until 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh, wait for a couple minutes. Yeah.
You can hear them?
Second.
Oh, yes, in my headphone.
Second slide, second page. Yeah. I have Cecilia Dini, Ermerwati, Rahmatan, Fitriana. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Right. Wait. And then, oh, for the third and the fourth pages, no pictures, only names. Should I? Okay.
Everyone, please turn on your camera.
All right, no problem. Only names. Okay, and then the fourth. Again, name. Yeah. All right. That's all, Pak Dera.
Thank you, Bu Fel. Thank you, Bu Fel. Before closing up the session today, don't forget we will have OFJ tomorrow, and we will only have main room tomorrow because we have 2 more speakers for the sessions, but there will be no parallel rooms. And we will have Bu Ica Khadijah as the keynote speaker before we end the day for tomorrow. I think that's all, everyone. If you have any questions, you can still type in the chat box. We're not going to leave the room just yet. We're going to check if everything is all right. You want to take something? Okay, Bu Fel, get back to everyone. And I hope we can see you all tomorrow in good health and more spirit. See you.
Thank you so much, Bapak Ibu. We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 10
Bye-bye.
in the main room. Bye.